Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, and I am pleased to be joined by Adam Bramwell, who is with he's the marketing manager, I should say, with the Tobacco Prevention and Control Department of the Utah Department of Health. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. There's a lot of words in there, I realize.
There is. It's a long title, my friend.
I don't know.
But there's a lot to say right there.
Yeah.
It's an important title as well, given the certain health risks people are exposing themselves to with cigarette smoking. So we're happy to have you here to talk about that a little bit. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here.
So first of all, I wanted to say we obviously often present a lot of bad news when it comes to tobacco use.
Yeah.
And the attempts for cessation. But one of the things that is kind of a positive note is the percentage of Utahns that are smoking is coming. It's come down quite a little bit. We're down to 10%. Is that right?
We're the lowest in the nation. We're dead last. We're 50 of 50.
That is pretty impressive.
It is.
That's not bad at all.
We're proud of that stat at the Department of Health. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why that's there, of course, but at the same time, it's not all cultural stuff. You know, there's a lot of hard work and a lot of great strides that have been made in Utah.
Absolutely, but let us not be, I don't know what the right word would be. We certainly need to consider the 220,000 plus people that are smoking.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that we're concerned about. Certainly, I mean that fills the Delta Center. I think 6, maybe 8 times.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
A lot of bodies.
When you start thinking about it.
A lot of people, and it's one of those things. Kind of the epiphany I've had recently is you think Utah, nobody smokes in Utah, but everybody knows at least one person that smokes. When you add up all of those one persons, next thing you know, you've got 220,000 people that still are using something that we know is a horrible way to affect your body.
Talk to me about what the health risks are. You probably know better than anybody.
Well, it's one of those things. We all know smoking, causes primarily lung cancer and heart disease. You usually don't associate heart disease with smoking, but it is. Heart disease is the #2 killer of people who smoke. Kind of jockeys for #1 a lot of years, actually. So you don't usually associate heart problems with smoking, but
it's because of that extra effort that the heart has to put out just to get
blood
get
where
oxygen
it needs to go.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow. So a significant risk there. What are some of the other risks?
And really every year we find new things that are connected to tobacco use. It sounds crazy, but even after 50 years, we're still finding new ways that tobacco use affects the body. The Surgeon General released a report just about 6 months ago now. And in that, there were some really startling findings that it aggravates diabetes, that it causes types of cancer we didn't know that it caused before. Bladder cancer is on the rise heavily among smokers, which is a weird one. Wow. But really, it just shows that when you put those toxins into your body through a cigarette, it affects every portion of your body. There's not a portion of the body that those chemicals don't end up touching.
Wow. Yeah. I'm sure there are people who think, well, I know somebody who smoked until they were 100. And certainly there are some circumstances where, it doesn't affect some people as much as others. But for the most part, these things, we've determined that for the vast majority of people, this is a giant health risk.
Absolutely. There are those people that dodge the bullet. There's the George Burns, whatever, that smoke until they die and it never catches up with them. But then on the other hand, there are people like the woman that's always on our commercials, Terry Hall, the lady, the laryngectomy. And I had the pleasure of being with her for a week when she was in town, and she told me one day when we were driving, she said, people always say it's going to happen to somebody else, but I'm not somebody else. I'm in my 50s and I've got throat cancer and it's horribly disfigured me. So for every person that you hear about I smoked for my whole life and I'm feeling great. On the other side of the coin, there's that person you don't hear about that winds up with cancer and dies in their 40s. So really it's a gamble when you choose to use tobacco, and everybody who knows it, everybody who uses it knows that, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a really hard addiction to quit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one of the things we're really trying to help here in our state lately with our new campaign that you see the spots on this station a lot for.
As a matter of fact, we have a couple queued up, so let's run one or two here real quick and kind of get an idea of what we're talking about.
Okay.
So here it is, Way to Quit.
Breathe easier. The new waytoquit.org helps you quit smoking free. Waytoquit.org. The new waytoquit.org helps you quit smoking free. So does gum, but it's not free. Waytoquit.org.
The newest ads, which I have to say, we've had to see a lot of the troubling ones. We've had to see the one with Terry that is so hard to watch.
Yeah.
We've had to see some of the ones where you squeeze out that the plaque out of the veins and things. Oh my goodness, they're tough to watch.
Yeah.
But they're so, the fact is that some people just don't understand it until they see it for themselves.
Right, and that's the thing is that in those spots we're going to have to keep rolling those. So there's a whole new batch of those that have got in the works right now that are going to continue to punch people in the gut. And that's one of the things that we routinely say is that our campaign needs to shock people. It needs to because people have been smoking for a long time. Sometimes they kind of get lulled into the sense of security. I've been smoking for 30 years. Yeah, I feel cruddy sometimes, but on the whole, I'm fine. And you need to remind them that there are long-term consequences to it, that these things can catch up with you. But at the same time, you can't just beat people with a club all the time. You've got to give them some hope. And that's what some of these new spots we're showing, the ones you just rolled, do, I think.
And that's what your campaign is about, is giving them hope and also giving them an opportunity to tell their story.
Yeah, and really connecting them back to the cause. So our brand new website our whole new brand is Way to Quit, with the crux of that being our website at waytoquit.org. And at that site, there's all of the resources that you need to help somebody quit. So you can learn more about what happens when you call that phone number. And you can learn about our online resources from online counselors. You can learn about our text program. You can learn about how to go cold turkey if you don't want to do any of that jazz, if you just want to muscle through it and get it done. All of those resources are right there in one place.
Wow.
And to help encourage people to make that step, we've got a new campaign that we're calling Share Your Quit. That's coming out hand in hand with Way to Quit, which is our whole brand. So you'll hear about Way to Quit for years. This
Share to Quit will be this beginning part of it.
Right, exactly. So what we're doing is we heard from this woman recently who quit, and she said, we put her on an ad, and she said, I've been smoke-free for 2 years, and every time I see that ad, I remind myself, listen, I was on an ad. I can't give up at this point.
Right.
My neighbors saw me on a billboard.
Yeah, everyone will know.
People
if
at the
I'm
grocery store would give me a stink eye if I walked in to buy a pack of cigarettes because my billboard's up outside the grocery store.
Right.
So there's those conversations that people have, and we realize, that's a cool thing. Let's make that broader. So what we're doing right now is we're encouraging people that either have recently quit or are in the early stages of it or are planning to quit to tell us why they're doing it. And we'll put their face on a billboard or we'll put their voice on the radio. So that way that'll kind of serve as a motivation to stay quit once they've made that choice.
A lot of people are making that decision because of their children, because they're exposing their children to smoke as well. This is a big issue. People don't necessarily, I think still, even today, understand what secondhand smoke does.
Yeah, secondhand smoke affects kids in horrible ways. It's really a bummer. I mean, for all of the anti-tobacco zeal I've got, that's one area that really just busts my chops because I've got a 6-month-old, and as I get to know her more and experience that whole I'm a dad thing, it's changing me even more. When you see a parent with a child that's strapped in the backseat smoking,
right?
Those little developing lungs, when you expose them to those chemicals, it's horrible. It can
that crack in the window, you think that's letting the smoke out? It's not.
No,
there's not. There's the tiniest little bit that's going out that window. Yeah. The rest is in your car with your kid.
It's true. So if you do smoke, that's one of those things, like I've got family members and loved ones that smoke, we all do. But if you do smoke, just be polite and I think most smokers, the great majority of smokers aren't jerks about it. But there are still some people that think, it's my car, I can do what I want. But these are your kids, these are your family members, these are people that you care about. Just be courteous and take that decision to smoke that you're making elsewhere. Better yet, give it a shot at our website and help, and let's quit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we only have just a moment or two left, but I want to talk about this because I know it's a huge hot topic right now, and that's e-cigarettes.
All right, let's do it.
Good grief. I know, I see the advantage to people possibly who are trying to quit, this being maybe a way of getting off the cigarettes. I totally understand that.
Right.
And I even understand the taste of some of them. They taste really good. I get it. I understand why people are interested in them.
Yeah.
But talk to me about what we're seeing here, because I think the troubling part is the marketing to kids with this. This seems to be the bigger issue.
Bingo. What the long-term health effects of these things are, we don't know yet. Yeah. For some people, you're hearing it's helping them quit. For some people, they buy one and they still smoke in addition to e-cigarettes. So whether or not that helps in the long run, time will tell.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. But what at the Department of Health, our main concern is we're seeing a major upswing in the number of kids that are getting them and using them. So between 2011 and 2013, we saw a 3-fold increase. So way more kids in your average high school now, far more kids are smoking e-cigarettes than normal cigarettes even.
Right.
Because they're easier to get. They have this myth that they're safe and they're fun.
Yeah, and the advertisement with Dorf on it where he makes it look like he's so cool.
Yeah, I know, right?
For smoking. I'm like, wait a minute, dude, that is really
the
reminds
burning
me
irony
of the
there.
70s.
Stephen Dorff's got emphysema, man. That's
and there
the burning
he is
irony
on
there. He's switched, and but the guy's got emphysema.
Wow.
He's got a chronic lung condition, so that's unfortunate. But you're right. That's that ad that you see those ads, and it's the '70s thing where they're trying to make it look cool and sexy again. And that ad is that ad does that.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the long-term effects of these things are. So if you're looking to quit, we would suggest that you use a proven resource first. And maybe in a couple of years, the e-cigarettes will be regulated, and we'll know what's in these things, and we'll know how to use them to quit. But for now, it's just kind of a dice roll with those things.
Right, and the biggest thing is just keeping them out of the hands of kids.
Bingo.
That's the biggest thing.
That's A1.
All right, so wrapping everything all together as a whole right now, the way to quit, what is the first step for somebody as they look at this possibility of like, okay, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is it. Today's the day.
I think the trick is just to not give up on yourself. Really, the average smoker takes about 5 to 11 tries to quit. So even if you've tried 8 or 9 times and you think, that's it, this is just a part of me, I'm never going to be able to do this. That's not the case. Give it another swing. Give it a fresh start.
Right.
Call the Tobacco Quit line. Go to our website at waytoquit.org and see what happens when you call that phone number. It's really cool. The phone number is amazing. It's a great resource, and it's stinking free.
And the text to go with it. There's so many different
Sure, there's so many different things, and all of those tools are right there at our website. Give it a fresh start.
And I think the biggest thing of all that we don't mention often is rely on your friends. There's so many of your friends who want to help you with that. I think, just asking them for help is another great way. Make sure that you've made that commitment obvious to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, tell your friends.
All right. Well, Adam, thanks so very much for being here.
Thank you.
Great
It's a good
information.
one. Absolutely.
Waytoquit.org is the website. You'll see the commercials right here on Park City Television every day, reminding you that perhaps today is your day. And there's the website, waytoquit.org. So it doesn't have to be a special day. It's just the day you quit.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
It'll be a special day if you keep doing it. So there's that. We'll be back with more right here on the Mountain Morning Show. We're going to take a quick break. And then J.W. Allen Toys. Oh, my goodness. I'm pretty excited about that. It's coming up right after this.